Hello everyone, I'm Carlos Silva from the Lubbock Avalanche-Journal, bringing you another edition of the Red Raiders pregame chat brought to you by Jones & Associates. But before we get to our game report here, unfortunately, like I said, we'll get to our game report after we listen to a word from our sponsor.
If you got cruddy windows, we've got the answer. We can install new energy-efficient replacement windows that are easy to clean and look great. Call Jones & Associates, where we say the proof's in the pudding.
Once again, we appreciate Jones & Associates for sponsoring this Facebook Live pregame chat, which helps you log in and then, of course, talk to other Red Raider fans as you kind of get ready for the 8:57 p.m. tip against the Purdue Boilermakers. Unfortunately, the last two couple of live chats kind of went a little bit awry, and Nathan Barrett had to kind of head out, do his deal for the Journal and Courier. But once again, appreciate him joining us for the last couple of live chats, and we'll get to some of the questions that I did see from the previous chats that we did have to delete due to audio error, just my phone dying. Unfortunately, the cold weather, I guess, does affect iPhone, so we'll kind of fix that and get to some other things as well, that including a couple of quotes from Matt Painter and some keys to the game as well. But the biggest news of the day is me and Nathan had talked about. Once again, he's at the Journal and Courier for the Purdue Boilermakers, who come into this game 30-6. Was the fact that Isaac Haas had his brace approved by the NCAA, but the one thing that Nathan had said is yes, he got that approved, but he still has to play with a fractured right elbow. So we'll see how much time he's able to get. I know in some press conference situations he was hoping that he could get maybe 1 or 2 minutes, but we'll see what type of game action he's able to get, because when he did practice, he was able to get some layups, but he was wincing in pain as he was running. And certainly when you kind of think of it, yes, it's great that he has a brace. He's a senior trying to play once again, but then you're also looking towards your future. He's looking to play professionally. You don't want to hurt your elbow any more than what it is right now. So we'll see what he's able to do against the Texas Tech men's basketball team that's looking to play some aggressive defense on the perimeter and then, of course, inside as well. But some of the other things that we're talking about, we'll let Matt Painter talk a little bit about it as to what he sees, how things will go in this game.
Thank you. Yeah, we're obviously excited, to play. Our guys were able to grind out a victory against Butler in that second round, and we know we face a tough team in Texas Tech. It's very athletic, very versatile, got a lot of different pieces, got a lot of guys that can hurt you in a lot of different ways, and so we know we have our hands full with them, and just looking forward to the challenge.
Once again, that was Matt Painter of the Purdue Boilermakers that come in at 30-6. Of course, Texas Tech has 26 wins as they come into this contest ready and willing to get to the Elite Eight for the first time in program history. Of course, this is their first appearance in the Sweet 16 since 2005. Purdue is making its second straight appearance in the Sweet 16, and second time it'll be playing against a Big 12 opponent. Last year was rolled by Kansas, who had a second half rally and was able to defeat the Boilermakers. Of course, they're looking to kind of make it to their first Elite Eight, Grade 8 in several years as well. So we'll see how things go with that. Like I mentioned, Isaac Haas, will likely be out with the fractured elbow. We'll see how much he's able to play. So Matt Harms will probably play in there, another 7-footer for Texas Tech, as Nathan Barrett from the Journal and Courier had mentioned in a previous Facebook Live. More than likely won't see him get his back to the basket, more of a European-style player where he'll look towards you, kind of make some shots, and try and beat you off the dribble. So we'll see how Tommy Hamilton, Lawrence Odiase, and just some of the other guys like Justin Greer, Brandon Francis, who've been playing undersized, but still been playing on the inside, can help and play defense against Matt Harms. And then, of course, the rest of the Purdue Boilermakers, who have 4 to 5 players that have a 40% shooting percentage from the three-point line. That, of course, being Vincent Edwards, Carson Edwards, Dakota Mathias, and a couple of other guys as well on the team. So certainly that's one thing that Texas Tech will look for, but that's one thing that Matt Painter mentioned is his team will have to be looking out for the Texas Tech defense.
I just think their ability to stay with it and in terms of sustainability. Like guys, you get guys to play hard in spurts. You get guys to play hard in a certain stretch that, they play hard for 40 minutes. They really get into the basketball. You can see when maybe like after a timeout, you hear about coaches about, being able to draw up plays, and after timeouts, you got to, be prepared for things. Seems like after some timeouts, especially late in the game, they put themselves in positions. They really ramp their defense up. But just their overall ability to do it as a whole. Like, it's not like a couple guys can guard and a couple guys can't. They're all so versatile, and they all play hard, and they all get after it. They get production from a lot of people. You'll see a guy averaging 5 points and you'll look at him on tape and you're like, man, he's a really good player. You know, he can get after it. And that's what you have to do. You know, you have to be able to get those guys coming off your bench to be able to sacrifice, but they really help you win. And so they don't lose a lot, in my opinion. I think, you know, Culver and Evans can score a little bit better than some of those guys. But on a given night, Stevenson's dangerous. You know, you can't, you know, leave him there. You know, Gray is a guy that scored more. You know, Zach Smith has scored more before. So these guys have sacrificed. And if Zach and Keenan Evans wouldn't have had some injuries, I think they'd probably have 2 or 3 fewer losses. I really believe that. And so this is their team, and they're healthy. And the way they can come at you on the defensive level, you have to be efficient offensively. When they make mistakes, you got to make them pay, because they don't make a lot of them.
Once again, that was head coach Matt Painter talking about the Texas Tech men's basketball team, about its defense, and then, of course, about the offense, where necessarily it could be anyone that could score. Naeem Stevenson, a Jared Culver, Zaire Smith, Zach Smith, who's coming back from a foot injury where he had a bruised bone in his right foot, and now he's kind of obviously nursing that up, along with Keenan Evans with an injured toe, as I profiled today in the Lubbock Avalanche-Journal. You can check that out on LubbockOnline.com or RedRaiders.com, or if you're in the Lubbock area, in the Lubbock Avalanche-Journal as well, as he's kind of enjoying the ride, suppressing the pain as he tries to lead Texas Tech to what has been an off-season goal, which of course is hoisting the national title, as is the goal of every other team in the country as well. But they'll start that journey tonight at 8:57 p.m. That is the scheduled tip on TBS for Texas Tech and the Purdue Boilermakers. We'll see how things go there. For those that are looking for my keys to the game, they're going to sound about the same as they always have. You're going to want a low turnover game where you don't give the ball to Purdue, who's going to need something in terms of sustainability on the offensive end, because they're going to be shooting the 3 ball more than likely. That's something that you may see them do as Florida was able to do. And if they get hot, that's something you don't want them to do. You don't want them to get into rhythm. So if they do shoot a 3, you want to have a hand in their face or make them rush their shot so they're not necessarily taking rhythm 3-pointers. The other thing that you want to do is try and get on big runs. It's going to be a game of runs, as Chris Beard has mentioned, but the biggest run will be a double-digit run, and if you're able to do that, make your free throws down the stretch, that's going to be the main reason that Texas Tech will be able to pull this out, if they are able to do that. Let's get that double-digit lead, make your free throws, get Purdue into foul trouble, see if you can get Matt Harms out of there, because that 7-footer can certainly rebound, although Texas Tech has shown an affinity to rebound with some of the undersized play that they had, especially last game where Jared Culver and Zaire Smith, a couple of 6'5 guards, freshman guards, were able to get 9 rebounds apiece. So on that note, appreciate you all watching another edition of the Red Raiders pregame chat, brought to you by Jones & Associates. I'm Carlos Silva from the Lubbock Avalanche-Journal. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at CM Silva Jr., or you can check out the game recap and everything else that you need to know about the Texas Tech Red Raiders at RedRaiders.com and LubbockOnline.com. Up until then, we'll talk to you after the game, or maybe a day after, depending on how late this game ends. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.